Hey everybody, welcome to Pisces season, and a special happy birthday to all you Sun baby Pisces. We're going to have a choice of pick a card of 4, which you can choose as many of these as you want. And for all the Sun baby Pisces, there's going to be a special reading at the very end, and I'll have timestamps for all these down in the description box below. But for the pick a card, you have a choice. Number 1 will be of Pisces, which is card number 12. And then you also have the 12th house, which is where Pisces, depending on your birth chart, of course, as well, but Pisces is standardized, is the 12th house. So that's option number 2. You have option number 3, which is Jupiter. That's the planet that ruled Pisces traditionally until Neptune was discovered. And then this is the more modern ruler of Pisces. That's option number 4. So you have all these 4 options. As I mentioned, you can choose as many as you want. I'm going to start with number 1, which will be Pisces. If you chose one of the others, as I mentioned, you can look in the timestamps below and click on that, and it'll leap you forward to whatever place, whichever other choice that you chose. So we're going to go ahead and jump into Pisces right now. All right, if you chose reading number 1, which is Pisces, then this is the reading for you. And this Pisces energy, it says on here, sensitive on the bottom, which, Pisces can get a bad rap of being sensitive individuals. And that is because you have this extreme intuitive, perceptive ability where you feel people's emotions. So you are sensitive, emotionally sensitive, because you can sense emotions. So it makes total sense, right? You also have a very dreamy feel about you, and you have a sense of your dreams. You're encouraged with this energy to swim in that pool of emotions and allow yourself to be moved to compassionate action. You don't resist feeling the feels, so feel those feelings, but also allow yourself to have healthy boundaries. You can help others, but also focus on doing your individual work. Just be aware of the emotional tides and rapids that can come, and look at developing your kind of buffer that you can have, where I kind of look at it as like a gelatin that's around me, and emotions that come just stick into the gelatin. They don't stick on me, and I don't take their other people's emotions into me anymore like I used to. I have a ton of Pisces and water in my chart, so I understand feeling these waves of emotions that can come from the outside world, but it doesn't have to be absorbed into you. And what we're going to do, we're going to start off, because you are the dreamers. I have the dreamers deck here, and we're going to pull a card and just see overall, for those of you that chose the Pisces, pick a card, what the creator wants you to know. All right, so for those who chose card number 1, what would you like them to know for this Pisces season, which does run from February 18th to probably around March 18th. I didn't look to see when that ends and when Aries begins this year. It can change by a day or 2, and actually you're going to get 2 cards. So we will take a look here. Beautiful moon energy, which makes sense. And it says, I know that nothing can get in the way of what is meant for me. I am on the right path. That is perfect there. And then you also have, beautiful here. Sorry about the little shadow there. And it says, I know that for every door that life closes, a new one opens around the corner. I am optimistic. So this is perfect with these 2 cards coming out together, because this is, you are on the right path. And so you can trust and know that if something does pass you by, that it was not meant for you. And if it was meant for you, it'll circle back around and come back to you. So you can trust and have faith that your life unfolds for you, and that it doesn't happen to you. I'm going to pull some cards here from the Sun and Moon Tarot. And we're just going to see what else the creator wants you to know about Pisces season for you around this path that you're on here, and anything else. We'll take all the heads up that we can get, right? And then one more time. All right, so what else? You want those that chose card number 1, okay. I want that one too. What else? Okay. And those two. All right. So let's start off with these that showed themselves here. And yeah, we're going to look at the 2 of Swords. So swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. And you can see here that they are kind of at a crossroads in what should I do? Which direction should I go? And it makes sense with this path here. You kind of feel like, well, I'm at this fork in a road, and which way should I go? Which way should I go? And there's a couple things that come with this. I love that it says peace at the top up here. And so with this path that you're on, it is being told to you here that, you can see here that and these, they don't have faces, but usually they'll have like a blindfold, or there'll be a moon in the sky. And this shows that there's 2 of you that are making a decision in your life. You have your human side that is ruled by fight or flight mode, right? And that has all these expectations, and it's like, this is what I should do, this is what I'm supposed to do, this is how it's supposed to unfold, this is supposed to be the outcome. Like all those expectations that are built up out of fear of being rejected and fear of failing in our human side. Well, with this moon here, I love it because it's like trusting your intuition, trusting your gut. And with all this being about sensitivity that we talked about in the beginning, it really is listening to that intuition that you have inside you, because that is what is going to guide you. And if you don't know all the answers yet, that was the other thing that was coming through, was that if you don't have an absolute like heck yeah, then it's a wait until you get the information. And if people pressure you saying, well, you need an answer today, well, then if you need an answer right now, the answer is no. And then suddenly, miraculously, they're like, oh, wait, take a little bit more time. Think about that, right? Because then you have the Prince of Pentacles here. And the Prince of Pentacles, this would be like the Knight of Pentacles in a standard deck. And so this is about, there will be movement happening, because the Knights, or the Princess and this Princes in this deck, is about steady, slow movement. Of all the princes, of all the knights in the suits, this is the slowest moving, because the others are mental and emotional and about your drive and ambition, but this is about the outside world. Pentacles are the all the people on stage with you and all that external stuff that's going on outside you. And so on the outside, things go a little more slow. You have seasons, you have, spring takes 3 months when you plant seeds, and it takes time for it to really settle into the soil and start to grow. And summer is when it reaches up above the ground and you start to see the growth and the growth and the growth. And then you have autumn or fall that hits, and that's when you have the fruit is, ripe enough to be harvested, and things start to fall from the trees. And then winter is when the rain or the snow comes and it holds down and weighs down all that stuff and allows it to go into the soil so you can plant new seeds in spring. So this is this promise that things are growing, but that your inner world will be the one that's moving fast, but the outside world is going to take a little bit of time to catch up with it, with all of that, with the path that's unfolding for you. So just have patience. Yeah, because you have the 3 of Swords here, and you have sorrow. And this I call the expectations card. Here's your 2 of Swords. You've got the 3 of Swords too. And this 3 of Swords is about the fears, like I was talking about, because you have all those expectations, all those supposed to be's and shoulds that we talked about. You're afraid that you're going to get heartbroken. You can see the heart with all the 3 swords stabbed in it, and these are your thoughts. You can see the little bubbles. It's like, oh, but what's going to happen? I don't want to fail. I don't want these things, to happen. And this is great, because this is that during this waiting time that you're having, and with this connecting in with the higher realms, connecting in with your intuition, to your angels, your guides, to your loved ones on the other side, to the Creator, to Spirit, you're understanding that these fears that you have are because they are of the human side of us. And you get to confront them. You get to really simmer with them and sit with them and see them for what they are. And you question those, and you understand that, okay, these are not true. And heartache is just our fight or flight kicking in. Our heart can never truly break. This is a truth that you find out during this period too. And I feel like this one's going to be here, and these three are for up here. Yeah, because here you have the Prince of Wands. So Knight of Wands. Wands is our drive, our ambition, our aha, inspiration, our passions. It can be our spiritual energy too. But I feel for this is going to go above this Prince. So you've got this drive and this ambition and your passions, you're putting them into like action. You are applying during this Pisces season. You're putting plans into action. You're putting your energy into getting tasks done and towards your dream, towards this path that you're on. And you're just not seeing all the stuff unfolding on the outside yet, but this is saying don't give up. Continue to put your passions into action, because you are going to eventually see reward, because like this is that promise of that. Yeah, because here you have the Princess of Swords, which the princess, they're like the pages in the standard tarot. This is new thought, new belief, new awareness, new messages coming in from the outside world. You have that Ace of Swords that you're wielding there, and that's what allows you to, one, see the higher truths, the capital T truths of the spiritual world, which we've all talked about already, that you're going to take time here to connect to your ability to see things from a different perspective, see things from that higher perspective. But it also allows you to cut away these thoughts and these beliefs that no longer serve you. These expectations, this disappointment, these things that were going on, it happened on purpose, for a purpose. You came here to experience all these shadowy, darker emotions and experiences, because in doing that, you more fully understand that higher, powerful spiritual being that you really are. And so this is beautiful that this is popping in here for you, because it is showing you, yes, be optimistic. Know that everything is unfolding on purpose, for a purpose, and you have the power to cut away those thoughts and those beliefs that no longer serve you any longer. You're ready to move forward in this new direction. And then you have the Nine of Wands. And, so more Wands energy here, more fiery energy, your passions. The Nine of Wands does two things. First of all, the nines are like the Hermit card in the Major Arcana, which is about you're finding your inner passion. You're finding this dream and this direction from within, not from the outside. So you are really, with these decisions you're making, like there's this, if there's a fork in the road, it's because you're questioning what your dream is, right? You are like, well, I know that other people said this is what I'm supposed to do and this is my dream, but this is what I feel I want to do in my heart, and you're kind of torn between the two. This Nine of Wands is saying trust your inner passion, trust the dream that you want to head off and what you want to do, because this also is like the card of, you see it has strength up here, it's perseverance. It's about keep going, be optimistic. So it really is this, know that everything is unfolding for you and it's going to take you in this direction that is for your highest expression of that unconditional love inside of you, that gift that you have to share with the world. And then I feel like the culmination of these two together, the High Priestess, there's the moon. This is all about connecting to the higher realms. This is all about, she goes into her temple and gets away from all the world, from all that just loudness of that chaotic world. And this is about, you don't have to ostracize yourself from everyone, but this is definitely about taking time away, taking deep breaths, working on your spiritual connection, because that is what is going to help you just understand what your next steps are. You won't feel like you're taking any risks because you're seeing things from the higher realms. You're seeing things from the eye in the sky of those beautiful beings of unconditional love and light that are outside of time and space. And they can look down and go, hey, when you're in the maze of life, you can only see like behind you and forward until you hit like, a block where you have to go left or right, and you're like, I don't know which way to go. When you get quiet and you raise your vibration to that of the spirit world, which is of unconditional love and joy and peace, peace and laughter, then you can hear more clearly, and they can see from up above. You can't see above the walls, but they can. And they're like, oh yeah, take a right. And you're like, oh, okay. And then you take a right. So I love that all this is folding here for you. I also, because the Pisces energy, Pisces, can be very optimistic and be swimming in the bright side of the pond, but they can also go into the deep depths and into the darker side of the pond, into their shadow. And so I really was drawn to pull from the dark tarot to see what your shadow would like you to know as well, what perspective your shadow has, and what kind of information can it provide you on this path for you. All right, so what message do you have for those that chose the Pisces card, please? Okay. All right. So these will be, oh my goodness, okay. Okay, they're thicker. Oh, nope, there is, oh my gosh, there is 6. Okay, so we will take a look at all of these. You start off with the 5 of Swords, so more thoughts. So you really are in your head during this Pisces time, but this is about overcoming them, because the 5s are about this transformation, this change of thinking, this kind of, if you look at the standard tarot, they'll usually would show someone holding the Ace of Swords and 4 other swords on the ground and people walking away. And it's kind of like this, you were trying to prove that your small t truths were more true than other individuals, all these expectations. And so there was this battle of expectations and you won it, but it's like you won the battle, but you lost the war. You lose the relationships when you're trying to prove that you're right and someone else is wrong. So in this journey that they're having here, it's like they're letting you know, your shadow's letting you know that you can be tempted to prove other people wrong so that you can show them that the path that you're choosing is right, because you're trusting your gut and they're going off of their mind, and you don't have to do that. You don't have to enter into that conflict. You can just let them provide whatever input they have, and you're like, thank you for that information. I'll consider it when I'm making my decision. Doesn't mean you are going to take all of that with a lot of, weight behind it, but you can still tell them and not lie. You can say, I'll consider that and consider it, but you're going to trust your gut anyway, because then you have the 9 of Swords here, which this is like the insomnia card or the nightmare card. And so this is your shadow letting you know that if you sit too long in here of, I need to make a decision, I need to do it, I need to, all those fears of these expectations, if you let them overwhelm you, then it's just you're going to lose sleep over it. You're going to have nightmares about it. It's like, let it go. Trust that your path is unfolding for you. And, this kind of journey is looking at these fears that you have with this 3 of Swords here, is like looking at your fear of failing, because you have the Queen of Wands here too. And, we talked about the Wands here. And the Queen of Wands is perfect for all this, because they're telling you that trust your focus, trust your ability to make things happen. And when you are so motivated with your clarity that you get, when you get like an answer, you move on it and you make things happen. The Queen of Wands, unlike the other, like the Prince and Princess and King, in the wand suit, all three of those others have like a gecko or a salamander that protects them from risk. But usually the Queen of Wands will have a black cat instead, because with her connection to the higher realms, like we talked about, she doesn't feel like she's taking a risk. She feels like she is, it's like when I talked about when you got to a fork in the road, you hear from the upper realms, take a left, and you're like, okay, I'm taking a left. And people are like, oh, aren't you afraid to take a left? And you're like, no, I'm trusting my connection to the higher realms. They told me to take a left, I'm doing it. Boom, 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 which is great. And then you have the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles, like we talked about, is your outside world. And this is like, yes, just know that everything is unfolding for you. You're ready to move to this next level. This is like moving from an apprentice to a master. You're ready for this leap to be on your own, doing things on your own, because that's what the High Priestess does, right? She steps away from it all. The Nine that we talked about, the Nine of Wands, this is, you're finding things within yourself. And you don't need to worry about that. You're not depending on everyone else. This is like trust that you're ready for this next step. Yeah, because you have the Five of Pentacles here. So again, you have this beautiful lessons that are unfolding for you. And this Eight of Pentacles is about kind of graduating, about stepping up to the next level. And so you are realizing with this Five of Swords that you're ready to step up into a new way of thinking. And the Five of Pentacles is about seeing yourself in this new place of worth. Because the Five of Pentacles, like if you look at the standard tarot, you would see two people walking. One person has a crutch. They're like barefoot. They have bandages. They're walking in the snow. They feel abandoned. They feel like they're all alone, that no one's helping them. But there's also this large stained glass window with the Five Pentacles in it, which represents the universe, represents the creator. And this movement of awareness in your worth happens when you realize that, like it talked about here, whatever's meant for you comes your way. Your sustenance comes from the Creator, who has limitless resources. It's, Creator is forever abundant. And so whatever we are needing in our life for our purpose and for our growth and for our path, we're going to have it. And so you realize in this transformation that happens with this belief it's like, oh, so everything that I am to have will come my way. It might come through a shipping company called Other Humans, or it might just happen, right? But they're the ones that could be bringing it to us, but the source is from the Creator. And so you start to have this faith and this trust in your path, knowing that whatever's meant for you will come your way. Yeah, and then you have the Three of Pentacles. And so the Three of Pentacles is about being authentic to yourself, about expressing your true gift, your true dream to the world in that authentic way, not allowing the naysayers to bust your dream, but also not really buying into the people who are praising you and supporting you, allowing them to also pull you off, because they're probably more apt to be able to pull us off from being authentic, because we understand naysayers, that negativity and that stuff that comes up, we're like, I don't, I know to put them over here, away out of my inner circle, right? But the people that praise us, the people that support us, our ego, our shadow really wants that, because we're, influenced by praise and punishment, right? And so if this person goes, oh my gosh, you're doing such a great job, I love what you're doing with your life and the direction you're heading, have you ever thought of doing it this way? And they could be doing it totally innocent, right? But we're more apt to go, well, I guess I can do that more like that, and move off of our authenticity because of it. So this is kind of this, not really a warning, but it's the message from your shadow going, just be aware of those individuals and understand that you came here on purpose for a purpose, and you have this unique way to express yourself to the world. So I am loving that. It's a great messages from your shadow, and a wonderful invitation to connect to the spirit world during this Pisces season, which is so Pisces anyway, but really connect to that higher world and take this silence, go into this place of peace into your temple, so you can raise your vibration, get away from all that chaos and that noise of the outside world, so that you can hear clearly those answers that you're seeking, because you will get them. And just have patience with the outside world during the process. So I'm going to leave the reading there, and I want to let you know, in addition to these readings, I also do monthly readings for each zodiac sign. I do weekly energy updates for each of the elements, like fire signs, water signs, etc., new moon, full moon, and a variety of others. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and get notified immediately when these become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, and then also click on the subscribe button, that'll make the little notification bell pop up, and then you can select to be notified of all these readings. And if you enjoy these readings and you do want to have, these are general, if you want even more specific reading information, I do offer personal readings, and all that information is in the description box below if you feel so inclined. But I definitely appreciate any of the likes, the shares, the subscribes. That does help out my channel and help spread the love. So I definitely appreciate you watching this video, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. Until then, just know that each and every second of every day of your life, that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing Pisces season, and I will talk to you later. You take care. Right. If you chose reading number 2, which is the 12th house, and this is the reading for you. And this 12th house energy, as it says on the bottom here, this is about introspection. And it would be like the quiet house of all the 12 houses, because it is this place that you're encouraged to get away from the chaotic noise of the world, and it's where you're looking inside, you're looking into the depths of the mysteries of who you are. You can kind of look at it like your little inner child's world, and in that world, of course, as a child, we have the fantasies and the fairy tales and all of that fantasy world, but we also have those scary monsters that are under the bed. So there's this duality, this kind of mirrored effect of the light and the dark, where you can, with this energy, kind of look into your inner motives, your private motives. And it's where you are going to see your hidden enemies, but also those surprise angels. And the 12th house speaks of both of who you are when, no one's looking, but also looking at the piece of you, your kind of fate that is linked to like the whole, like every other sentient being, every other person in this whole play that we're in, right? So it encourages you to take care of yourself and honor who you are, but also acknowledge you're part of the whole. So we'll look into that more here too. And we're going to start off by pulling a card from the Dreamer's deck, because the Piscean age, or the Piscean season, is all about, that dreamer side of life too. We're just going to see what else the Creator wants all you that chose reading number 2. No, don't worry, those are not all for you. What would you like them to know, please? Okay. All right, yep, they say you do get 3, so we will obey. So you've got the I am grateful. And here's the 2 sides, right? And it says, I know that my blessings come from being thankful for what I already have. So I like that message for sure. And then you have the little sun in your hand. And that says, I am the final say. I know that I am the only one who determines what is and isn't right for me. So you do hold that sunny side in your hand. And then you have, I am never stuck. And it says, I know that nothing bad lasts forever, even when my emotions tell me otherwise. So there is this seeing things from these two different sides here of, this brightness and this shadowy side. So I really feel like this duality is kind of what they're wanting to bring into your awareness here. We're going to pull some cards here, of course, from the Sun and Moon Tarot, and start off with them and to see what they want you to know about this, seeing the fairy tale side of your life, but also looking and experiencing those monsters under your bed, that they're not wrong, that this reflection is allowing you to see, and we're going to see what this reflective time that you have, this introspective time during this Pisces season, which starts on February 18th, and it runs for about 30 days, so it'll probably be around March 18th. I didn't quite look at the ending piece there, but I usually do, so there must be a reason. It's like it'll be around for 30 days. So what else do you want those that chose reading number 2 to know? Okay, they do want these two. What else? Okay, those two. They kind of want me to move these down a little bit, so we will. And then, what else? You get that one, and I feel like there's one more. I didn't want any of those. Okay, there it is. So we'll start down here and look at these two first, and you've got the Four of Pentacles. Pentacles is about your outside world, and the Four is a very solid foundation. So when you think of a table, like a strong table with 4 huge legs, it's a very strong and stable, table. And so there is a stability in your outside world that they're wanting you to know about. And it's like seeing the two sides of things and knowing that you have everything that you need for you and that you don't have to be concerned about it. One of the little lessons that comes with the Four of Pentacles too is that you don't necessarily need what everyone else has. And it's funny, this is the I am grateful, right? So it is being grateful for what you do have in your life, and whatever you focus on is what grows. So with this gratitude that it's encouraging you to have, if you do that and kind of have this gratitude journal maybe for this period of time for the Pisces season, just try to write down one thing every day that you're grateful for and try not to repeat it for that Pisces season, and to see what it does. Feel that just solid foundation. It allows you to kind of transform instead of focusing on your lack and what's not in your life and that growing. When you start to focus on what you're grateful for in your life, what things to be grateful for basically grow instead. So I love this gratitude and the Four of Pentacles there for you, because it does talk about your power right there. Yeah, and here's the Sun. So here's the Sun too. So you got the Sun card, which is one of the most successful cards. It means abundance. It means completion. It means just overflowing, right? And so this definitely is a great card to have here with these next to this Four of Pentacles, because it does show you that you have everything that you need, everything under the sun. You get outside of this walled in place that you felt so constricted. Usually they'll have like a little naked baby on a horse leaving a garden, which represents that you feel in your vulnerability, you still feel taken care of like a little child, and you feel the warmth of the sun upon you, and it is this victory type of card. And so the gratitude is like your pathway to that. It's the instrument for that. And let's take a look at these here. And you've got the Star card. So another bright star, and this represents hope. It's really the Aquarian energy too, which we're just coming out of Aquarian season into Pisces season. But this is about recognizing this bright light that you are, that you're so much more than the humanness as well. You do have this awareness that comes from this experience here. It basically, the Aquarian energy with the star card shows you what you're truly thirsty for by giving you a sip of this beautiful living waters, this passion, this unconditional love that exists within you, because they're the water bearers, and the jug that they carry is full of that living water, which is the unconditional love. And so they're pouring it out into your emotions here. They're pouring it out into the waters. And so you will feel this. And like it says, you have the final say. I know that I am the only one who determines what and isn't right for me. And this is about connecting to this higher power of who you are, because as you connect more to this beautiful star, this higher self that you are, you kind of have that separation between what people have told you is supposed to be your dream and what you're supposed to accomplish and do in your life, and you find out what it really is you want to do and how you want to express it. So this is definitely them saying, get into that trueness, do that deep diving, do this introspection, and find out what it is you truly want, and know that you are the only one that gets to decide what your dream is. People will hand you all their dreams, all you're supposed to, but you wake up in the morning with that going, I have to live my dream, when it's not yours. When it is your dream, you'll wake up with this just passion, with this fire, literally, you'll be glowing like a star because you'll be so excited to do things, to take steps toward expressing your dream, not someone else's, right? Yeah, and you have the Five of Pentacles. Pentacles is your outside world. You have the Four of Pentacles there. The Five of Pentacles is about transformation, and it's about really clarification on your worth. Because what the Five of Pentacles does, you'll see people here, they feel lonely, they feel abandoned, they feel like no one is assisting them. But here is that star, it's almost like that star above there. As you connect to this inner worth, as you connect to this higher place and to the other realm, and in this period of introspection, it talks about worry here. We worry because we think that other people are providing us what we need in our lives. But this transformation that happens with this worth, especially with this Four of Pentacles, with this, you're engaging with your power, your beliefs, your awareness about your own true worth changes, and you suddenly, with all this connection to the higher realms, it's like you have this understanding that the creator of all things, the mother and father of all things, is who brings me what I need, and I will always have what I need for this moment. May not have what I need for all future moments, but that's okay, because we can trust the creator. We can trust that they're bringing everything that we need. And they might send it through the shipping companies, which are the humans. So we might get something from someone else, but it's not from them. It's really coming from the creator. They just use them to get it to us, right? So when you order something from Amazon, it's not UPS or the Postal Service or FedEx or whoever brings it to you that is providing it for you. They're just delivering it to you, right? And so there's this awareness that comes with this higher, I love the star here, because it really, as you connect to that higher place, you understand it, and you're like, you know what? I don't have to worry about pleasing those people, because you're not afraid that they're going to hold back things from you anymore, because you know that it's not them that's bringing it to you. It's the creator of all things, right? And then we move into this area here, and then you've got the universe, which this would be like the world card, which is completions of major cycles and new beginnings. So this is a beautiful unfolding here, and I love it, because this is the I am never stuck. So nothing lasts forever. You have endings and new beginnings that are happening. So where you felt stuck before, you're having this switch that's coming and this change that's happening. So you definitely have this beautiful change, this beautiful new beginning, ending of these areas where you thought you were stuck. Yep, and then you have the moon. So the moon card here, this is about getting in tune, connecting to that deep unknown things. You can see here, yeah, they have it here. Yeah, you can even see, looks like little Pisces symbol there in the middle with the two fish. This is about seeing those two sides, like it says here, but digging into those depths, digging into the unknown, and getting answers. The moon energy is beautiful because when you, like, it reminds me of the High Priestess card. The High Priestess takes time away, gets away from everything, gets into that quietness in her temple, and she gets away from all that noise from the outside world, and she connects to the higher realms. She intentionally raises her vibration to that of the spirit world, right? And we're talking about it here with that, which is the vibration of unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter. And so you can connect and you get to hear and dive into those things, the understanding of things, seeing the unknown, seeing your unconscious thoughts and beliefs. And a lot of clarity comes from all that. So as this stuckiness starts to move as well, you get these answers by taking this time away into this introspection. So I really love that. And because this is all about, the Pisces, it has the two fish. Usually there's like a light fish and a dark fish. And so Pisces energy gives us the ability to really go out into the sun, into the brighter side of the pond, but it also allows us to do this introspection, this deep diving, and we can go deeper during this period of time with that energy and get into our shadow, get into those messages that are hidden. And for that, I'm going to just pull some cards here from the Dark Tarot. This is just going to represent what your shadow wants you to know, what kind of knowledge it can give you, what kind of heads up it can give you that's going on in your subconscious world, is this introspection. So what kind of wisdom can they provide you? Because they're your friend, they're not your enemy. We're taught destroy your shadow, but if there's light, then there's shadow. When it's dark out, there's no shadows. When light appears, then you see shadows, right? So what would you like them to know, please? I think there's going to just be one for each here. Yep, those are not it there. That's just me being Butterfingers. So what's your final message here? Okay, there it is. So for this one down here, you got the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups represents our emotions, and the Ace of Cups is the Holy Grail. It is the, kind of like I talked about with this, what the water bearers bring. This is a gift from the Creator. This is filled with the living waters of the unconditional love of the Creator of all things. So you have this new emotion coming in, this new just feeling whole and complete, this beautiful emotion, which to kind of row here, and that makes sense. So the more that you're thankful for, the more that you just see how loved you are unconditionally, that there's nothing you can do to lose any of that love, and there's nothing you can do to gain any more of it, because you have it all. So you have this beautiful abundance. And so they're just wanting you to know that this, it's almost like the two sides of this is, on one hand, you feel you're asking yourself, does the Creator of all things love me conditionally, or do they love me unconditionally? And when you realize it's unconditionally, this really helps with this gratitude and this understanding and this trust you can have in the Creator. And then you have Temperance, which Temperance is a lot like the Star card, because they'll have I don't see it on here, but usually they would have like two cups, and they're pouring one cup, which is this cup, into a smaller cup, or a lower cup, which is your human side. And so the Temperance is this beautiful balance between the one side and the other, so the dark side and the light side, knowing that what truly the little cup of our human side wants to be filled with is this unconditional love. But it came here to experience the emptiness in looking outside of the world for what it is, its wholeness and its completeness. But this temperament I'm sorry, not temperament, but temperance is telling you that what you're looking for is this. And so your shadow's letting you know there's this beautiful balance, and you don't have to destroy the little cup, because it can be filled up with this Ace of Cups, with this love from above, with this connection to the spiritual realm. And then your final card is the Three of Wands. Wands is like our drive, our ambition, our aha inspiration, and our passion. And so the Ace of Wands would be about a new passion. The Two of Wands would be about putting some plans together. The Three of Wands has this creativity that kind of comes in with it all. And it is about, with new information, with new awareness, that you make new plans, you alter your plans, which makes sense with this I'm never stuck. It's like you felt stuck before, but you have these endings and these new beginnings and this new information that comes in from this moon, and then you are making new plans. It's like a plot twist where now you understand things in a different way. You don't necessarily want to go in the direction that you were headed before. Like you might have been in the middle of a continent and you had to make all your plans to get to the coast. And then once you get to the coast, you were going to get on this ship to go this direction. But now on your journey, you're getting to this point, new information. You're like, I don't want to go on that ship. I'm going to go on that ship and go this direction instead. And so there is this awareness that comes. And it is this, again, your shadow's letting you know, don't be stubborn and so fixed on the way that you thought you had to go, that this stuckness was happening for a reason too, to keep you in place so you wouldn't go in that direction to get all the information you needed, and then you're going to head in a different direction. So I'm loving this for you. A wonderful period here of introspection and awareness, and just this new flood of beautiful emotions and awareness coming in here for you. So it's going to be a wonderful little Pisces season for you. And I want to let you know, in addition to these readings, I also do like monthly readings for each zodiac sign, weekly energy updates by each of the elements like fire signs, water signs, and a few other types of readings. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, then also click the subscribe button, that'll bring up this notification bell. And you click on that, you can have your setting to be notified immediately when anything else comes out on this channel. Also, if you want to get in more depth here, I always like to let people know that in addition to these general readings, I also offer personal readings, and all that information is in the description box below. Never any pressure to do any of those, but just information in case you are wanting more specific information for yourself. So, number twos, just know that as you go throughout each and every second of every day of your life, that you are unconditionally loved by the creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing Pisces season. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. And until then, you take care. If you chose reading number 3, which is Jupiter, and then this is the reading for you. And as I mentioned in the introduction, the Jupiter was traditionally the first ruler over Pisces until other planets were discovered. So definitely still has influence over the Pisces birth charts and all that beautiful energy that it brings. And it is about abundance too, so we definitely want Jupiter to be part of this pick a card, right? But it has a very expansive spirit to it, and it actually takes 12 years for Jupiter to circulate through all the zodiac signs. And it also has like 79 known moons. So if you think with us, with one moon, this one has 79. So it is, very abundant energy about it. It never does things with small proportions. So it's encouraging you with this energy to think bigger, think globally, think all inclusive, embrace diversity, have that abundant, optimistic feelings. And it has such huge energy around it that one thing to be aware with this energy that you're going to have during this Pisces season, if you chose card number 3, is just be aware that it's huge energy and it could overwhelm others, because this will be very flooding energy. And so for other people that are sensitive, around you, it may be, a little overwhelming for them. So as you have this abundant feeling and things happen, just be aware that other people may not be in the place to appreciate this abundant feeling. So just not necessarily walk around on eggshells. It's about just being aware. So you don't have to, restrict yourself, but just, don't drown people with your beautiful energy that you're going to have during this time. We're going to start off by pulling a card here from these Dreamers deck. Just see what the Creator wants you to know about this beautiful, abundant energy during this Pisces season for you. So for card number 3, what would you like them to know? Okay, they want that one right there. Yeah, this says, I am intuitive. Yeah, it says, I know that all the wisdom I need to make the right decisions lies within me. So yeah, definitely there is this message here of trusting your gut, trust your intuition. Don't necessarily, with all this abundance that's coming your way, don't allow your mind to restrict how you will receive things. This is about trust your gut, trust your heart, trust the higher realms that they're going to bring it in the perfect way, and try not to let your expectations, have it very thin. It would be like, I am going to be independently wealthy, but it has to be through the Colorado Lotto on this date with these numbers. It's like, that's very restrictive, right? Instead of allowing the universe say, bring me my abundance so I can be financially independent in whatever way is for my highest and the whole collective's highest good. And then, boom, that just leaves the door wide open to allow all this to come in and to flood in from different ways, instead of it having to be such a narrow place for it to come in. We're also going to pull cards here from the Sun and Moon Tarot. Just see what else the Creator wants you to know about your Pisces season here. So what else for those that chose card number 3, please? Okay. So we'll get to these and this one. Okay, what else? Okay, no, I just want that one. And any others? Okay, and that one. So smooth these over a little bit. All right, I'm start with this one here. And you got the 8 of Swords, interference. So this swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. And so this interference is exactly what I was talking about here. So they're just reiterating the message, saying, yes, it's your own thoughts. You can see, I don't know if you can see the little strings attached here. Those are the things that are limiting in you, those limiting beliefs and those thoughts that no longer serve you, those ones that were making you think that it has to come in this very, very shallow place. And so this is about, during this period of time, for you questioning those thoughts and those beliefs on the hows and the whys and the supposed tos. So those little, I call them small t truths of our ego. And there are all those expectations that we've been conditioned that to receive this is how you're supposed to receive it. This is what you're supposed to do. Should be the outcome. This has to be, it must be, all those restrictive, like you feel like you're not controlling things because it's all this opinions, these popular opinions that came from the outside world. It's all those strings that make you feel like a puppet, like you're not in control of your life. But during this period of time, it really is allowing you to see and question those limiting beliefs that you have, because this is that education, this knowledge, this wisdom that comes from questioning that and looking at those. Yeah, and any of the 3 of Wands, which is, it says virtue up top. Wands is like your drive, your ambition, your aha inspiration, your passion. And you can look at the Three of Wands too, that like the Ace of Wands is like this new passion. The Two of Wands is you planning how you're going to get to like a location or all the steps to have something happen. And the Three of Wands is like you've made progress and you've taken some of those steps, but now with new information, you're making new decisions and you're doing like kind of like a plot twist. You're using your creativity to do things differently. And that makes sense as you question these old ways. Like I said, the Three of Wands, when you open your viewpoint, then you see other ways, you see answers where you didn't see answers before. Because if your path was this thin, let's say, and there's this huge rock, in front of it, and you're like, there's no way around this, there's nothing I can do. I can't go over it and under it or around it, it's just too big. But when you expand your viewpoint and you see things from a different perspective, you see that it was just a little monolith, it was just a square stone, and yeah, you just take one step to the right and you can move right forward. Or you're like, oh, I can go this direction. You see answers and ways, solutions where you didn't see them before. So you do have this virtue, right? This beautiful fiery energy to help guide you. And then you have the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, so Pentacles is your outside world. The Queen of Pentacles is all Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, abundance, overflowing. So definitely this Jupiter energy. And so with this new direction, with all those things, then you do have progress. You do have abundance that comes in. You do see the oasis in the desert, and you feel that abundance. A lot of times you would see like the Queen of Pentacles that she's pregnant, she's about to give birth, she's out in nature. It's this beautiful flow and abundant feeling. It's very grounding. Pentacles are earth energy, but all the queens also bring water energy, which has to do with the water is about connecting to your intuition. So it is about listening to your gut as well, because it will help you know what is ripe, what is ready for the picking, what direction to go as well. So I love how this is unfolding. And then you have the Seven of Pentacles. So you have failure here. And the Seven of Pentacles is, I really don't feel like for this reading, that failure is the correct word for it. Because the Seven of Pentacles is about kind of like this Three of Wands energy, where usually they will show, like in the standard tarot, someone has have the rake or the hoe, and they've been doing the work, and the bush is growing, and there's pentacles growing on the bush, but they're not ready for picking yet. And so it's like having patience, watching as the fruit becomes riper and riper and ready for the picking. But there's this kind of dual message, or an alternate message, or inclusive a message, that sometimes when you're seeing the fruit grow, you're like, you know what? I know when I planted these that I wanted to have an apple tree, but I really want an orange tree or maybe an avocado tree. And you're like, what? I'm going to stop investing in that and change my course and invest it in a different direction now, because that's what I truly want. And so there's kind of like, especially with this Three of Wands here, this could be as you're expanding your viewpoint and you're freeing yourself up with this intuition and this connection, that you're maybe altering course and wanting to do things differently. If that's not your message for you, then that it'll resonate with you if that's for you. Otherwise, it's like, be patient, because things are unfolding for you. It takes time for the baby to grow, and then then the baby will be birthed. So have patience. And it's kind of like there's an old Zen saying, continue to carry water and chop wood. Keep doing the daily stuff and things will unfold. And then you have the Five of Wands. So you got a lot of fire in here with these here too. And the Five is about change. It's about seeing things from a different perspective. And it does say in here about strife. It's about conflict. It's about your perception of it, because the Fives are about transformation. It's about seeing things differently. So like I have this little movie that starts playing in my head with the Five of Wands, because usually they'll have like 5 people with 5 staves and they're all battling each other. And so I have this little kung fu movie that starts playing in my head, and they're all and they're all hitting each other, and it gets down to where there's one standing, the other 4 are laying down exhausted. And then they all start busting up laughing, and you're like, what's going on? And they put their staves away, and they all buddy walk, arm around each other, and headed off to this meal hall, and they start eating dinner together. And I'm like, oh, and then you suddenly realize this is a Zen monastery, and those were Buddhist, monks that were not trying to hurt one another. They were helping each other train and improving their skills. And so the energy around what you thought was strife, what you thought was conflict, suddenly changes throughout this process too, and you start to see things from a different direction, where it's like, okay, when things weren't working out, it was bumping me into a different direction. It was holding me back until I went in this other direction. Or where I thought it was conflict, it was all in this interference here. It was all in my beliefs and everything within my head, because I thought it has to be this way, and if it's not, there's conflict. But as you let go and you allow and see things from this different place, the energy of your whole situation changes as well. So I really love that. I'm also going to pull some cards here from the Dark Tarot, and these represent what your shadow side wants you to be aware of as you're going through this Pisces season. Because the Pisces energy, if you can see like the 2 fish of the Pisces, one's a light fish and one's a dark fish. The light fish is the ability for the Pisces energy to swim in the bright side of the pond, to see things from this beautiful perspective, this abundance and this wonderfulness. But also that dark fish, they're able to like dive deep into the emotions, into the unknown, into the subconscious and the unconscious, to see the hidden things too, so they can, go from the bright to the dark, and the shadowy piece, we can really glean wisdom stuff there as well. And that's what these cards are going to be, is that wisdom we can glean from the shadow experience. So what would you like those that chose reading number 3 to know? Okay. Any others? So just these 3. So you have the first one here is the 4 of Pentacles. And the 4 of Pentacles is about abundance. You have the outside world, you have a lot of pentacles going on here. And so this Pentacles journey that they want you to know about, it is about worth, it is about stability. 4s, think of them as like 4 huge legs on a table. If it's 4 thick legs and strong, then it's a very solid foundation. And so there's this beautiful lesson that's happening, this beautiful journey about your worth that's happening during this time too. And are you worthy of abundance, really is kind of this strong foundation that you glean during this period. Because if it was the 5 of Pentacles, it would be about your changing and understanding this different thing. But the 4 is all about like, yeah, you have this, just this knowing here that you have the worthiness to receive, that you deserve to have abundance in your life. And there's this cautionary thing with the shadow, with the 4 of Pentacles, because sometimes you'll see in interpretations of the card, there's a city off in the distance, and it's about, don't think that you have to have what everyone else wants. It's about your definition of abundance, your definition of success, not the outside worlds. And so this is about this intuitiveness, is digging into understanding what it is that you want, not what everyone else wants. What is everyone else's definition of success doesn't mean that has to be yours. And so there is this subconsciousness around that during this period for you. Yeah. Because here you have the moon. So yeah, this is definitely about digging into the subconscious and digging into those, because the moon card is very much about connecting to your intuition, connecting to that energy, because it's like the high priestess. She steps away from all the noise, gets into that place in her, connects to that beautiful moon energy, connects to the higher realms, connects to all that subconscious. She gets to go beyond the veil into the unknown and see things for what it really is. And so this is a card definitely telling you you're going to have some ability during this period of time to get into some real awareness around your worth and around what you feel abundance and success is. Yeah, because here's the Ace of Pentacles, or Ace of Spheres is what they call it. But this is about pretty much everything we talked about, because the Ace of Pentacles is about new opportunities coming in the outside world, new ways of looking at things, new ways unfolding. So like we talked about with that narrow-minded focus, that is what has been keeping you stuck and blocked. And as you expand your definition of success and how it can come to you and what abundance is and how it can come to you, it opens up these opportunities. Because like I said, if you were just had this, you're missing all these answers and abilities and ways of doing things out here. So when it's you're restricted to that, you don't have access to all those. But as you expand that viewpoint, all of that, it almost becomes where you didn't see a way at all. Now you have 5 different ways, and now it's a good problem to have, right? It's like, okay, which of the 5 solutions is going to be best for me? Whereas before you have, I see none. Now I have too many. That's a good problem to have, right? And that's kind of what this is going to be happening during this Pisces season for you. So I love that for you. I'll leave the reading there. I do want to let you know, in addition to these readings, I also do monthly readings for each zodiac sign, weekly energy updates for each of the elements, like fire signs, water signs, do new moon, full moon readings, and several other type. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click that like button, then also click on the subscribe button. That brings up this notification bell, and then you can change your setting to be notified when all new videos for this channel come out. Also, if you want to get in more detail, these are general readings. I do want to let you know I do offer personal readings too, and all that information is in the description box below if you have that need. All you that chose card number 3, I do want to let you know that each and every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing Pisces season. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon, and until then, you take care. And if you chose reading number 4, which is the Neptune card, then this is the reading for you. As I mentioned, originally Jupiter ruled over Pisces, but when they discovered Neptune, it was assigned to rule over Pisces. So they kind of jointly rule it in a way, which is great, because you both get that beautiful abundance of Jupiter, but also you get this visionary energy of Neptune. And it invites you, this Neptune energy invites you to step into the infinite, to float in the universe, to swim, on the kind of shadowy side of the zodiac, of your energies of life. That, the Pisces, you'll notice that they're like the white fish and the dark fish. And so this is like this invitation to, like, you can go into the shadowy side and not be afraid, because you have this power of Neptune, of this vision behind you. It takes 165 years for Neptune to tour the entire zodiac. And it does have this energy of flow and, of course, the watery energy of the Pisces. And with all that mixture of all this type of beautiful energy, it shows us how we can, avoid reality, either escaping through, our imagination or addictions or martyrdom. That's kind of like the darker, shadowy side of it. But it also offers that brighter side where it speaks of spirituality, of looking into imagination, of our psychic perceptions. So with all that energy, it's like during this period of time, there's just this awareness. Be aware of that fine line between intuition and imagination, but pray rather than worry is kind of like this message that it has focus on that connection, but don't worry about so much, because whatever you're focusing your energy on during this time is what definitely expands and grows. We're going to start off by pulling, this whole dreamers and imagination, the dreamers deck here, to see what message for all you that chose reading number 4. What does the Creator want you to know about this Pisces period and this dreaminess? So what would you like those that chose card number 4 to know, please? Okay. All right. Actually, it looks like you get 2 here. And your first one is, I'm going to take risks. Dun, dun, dun. And it says, I know that my dreams are bigger than my fears. Yep. So definitely, that is this energy of Neptune, of the vision. It's like, that what you came here to do and how you're going to share your unconditional love with the world in your own unique way is so much bigger than fears. And, what are you waiting for to live your dream? To die? So now is the time. Yeah, and you're more than your career. So that's perfect for this with this card. I know that my purpose is far greater than just working and paying the bills. And I love, you've got the sun and the moon here. And we are going to pull from the Sun and Moon Tarot here in a sec. But I love that. Your dream, it's more important than a career. This is existing. This is living. So we're going to, of course, dig more in here. See what else the Creator wants you to know. But yeah, definitely this vision, this dream, dare to dream. That's what I've really learned over these last couple years with everything going on in the world is, what are you waiting for? If you wait too long, it's like, we may not be here tomorrow. You never know, right? So live your dream. What else do you want? Our wonderful people that chose card number 4. So they want those there. What else? Okay, they want this one here. Okay. Okay, yep, and they do. It's like they want it very interesting here. And like there's one more. Yep, there it is. So it's almost like this odd looking. Oh, okay, I see what they want. They want to do it like a mirror, like this ish. Okay, very good. So let's dig in here. And so as far as your dream, Ace of Cups. Cups are your emotions. And the Ace of Cups is like the chalice. It's the Holy Grail. This is what you're truly thirsting for in your life. And this is the unconditional love of the Creator of all things. That's what is filling up this cup. You get to fill up, and then everyone else gets the overflow out of here. And so there's this great message that comes with this, and they're really focusing in on that, is that, and I love that they have the little heart on there. You get to fill up with this unconditional love first, rather than sacrificing yourself, giving away your, life essence, and feeling empty and feeling drained and maybe even resentful. Instead of feeling that way, you get to fill up with that unconditional love. You get to fill up, and when you're full, then everyone else gets the overflow. You feel whole and complete. Everyone else gets that delicious, beautiful tasting water instead. Because when you just are trying to pay the bills and you're existing, what you give to others out of expectation is bitter and sour tasting. But when you're living your dream and you're filling up, just a drop of this overflow is worth an entire lifetime of getting that bitter sour water. So this is about, you get to fill up with your dream and overflow. Yeah, and you have the Empress, which is perfect. She's all about Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, so self-nurturing yourself. She's about creativity. She's about birth and overflowing and abundance flowing in. So yeah, this is definitely this beautiful energy that comes in. Because with her, when you're looking at the major arcana, she is this freedom. She's nature. She is, you don't feel this restriction. You don't feel all the supposed tos, the have tos, the shoulds that you feel like with your career, with all those I have to do all this stuff, and you feel like you have no choice. And this is like when you get out into nature away from it all, and you feel just the freedom and the free flowiness of it. And that's what comes from this beautiful energy here. And I think I saw if this was the Emperor. Yeah, because the Emperor is what is like, it's like this is the opposite of this. This is control. This is, there's two sides of this, you know, of an emperor. There's the loving emperor, who all the rules it creates is for the benefit of the kingdom, so that the kingdom can flourish and that everyone can get along together, and that the whole kingdom just evolves and grows and again has all the abundance. Well, when the human side gets involved, our shadowy side, when a little child, that little child within us, feels out of control and feels unsafe, it strives to gain control. It wants to maintain its control, gain more control, possibly take control from others. So it becomes self-motivated. It wants itself to be abundant. It wants itself. And it becomes this dictator instead of this loving emperor. And this is like this loving emperor piece. This is the dictator piece. So that's what they wanted to show with this. And then you have the Sun. Yeah, so this definitely, it's like these three cards, because the Sun is victory. The Sun is, like the Sun gives of itself and it doesn't expect anything back, right? The Sun isn't going, hey, Earth, you know, I need some stuff back, or I'm going to stop shining. No, it shines because that is who it is, what it does, and everyone benefits from it around it. And so that's what this, you know, living this dream is, having this beautiful passion flow out of you to the world. That's what this represents here. Yep. And then you have the Fool. So the Fool is about a new beginning, a new journey, a new direction. Definitely. And these, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana so far, which this represents like life change type of stuff. The individual suits are more like momentary, seasonal type things, but this is like life altering, life changing things. So you do, which makes sense with this, like you're ready to make this leap. You're ready to have something new happen. You want a new adventure. You had the adventure of feeling all this restrictedness and everything. You know, experiencing this was not wrong. It wasn't a mistake. You came here to experience what it might feel like to be small and restricted and limited and suppressed and everything else. But you're ready to experience something different while you're here too. Yep. And yep, you know, the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords are our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets, our attitudes. And the Five of Swords brings this transformational awareness to your situations here. Because the Five of Swords is like this conflict. It is, you know, it talks about defeat up here, but it's like you won the battle but lost the war because you were trying to make everyone else, you know, all these small t truths of the, like that dictator of all these things that have to happen and should happen, are supposed to happen, need to happen, to blah, 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 blah. All those things that are restrictive, right? Where you feel you're under a dictatorship, where you feel like your life is not free, you know, in direct contrast to feeling free out in the wilderness, that you can do anything you want to do out there, right? And so there's awareness that comes with this, is you're learning that you don't have to obey all those small t truths. You also don't have to make other people, you don't have to convince other people. Like when you head in this direction, you want to live your dream, you don't have to. In fact, I kind of want to do this. You don't have to live that life. You're ready for this new beginning. You're ready for this transformation. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to convince anyone else, because you're not telling them to do that for themselves. You are just doing it for you, right? And it happens. I know when I left a very high-paying supervisor job because I didn't want to supervise anymore. And people are like, how can you do that? How can you walk away from all this? And I even left the company. And they're like, oh my God, I could never do that. And I'm like, well, you could. And they're like, well, you're right, I could. I just don't want to make that sacrifice because I downsized quite a bit so that I didn't have to work the job I didn't want to do anymore to try to live my dream. And so this is kind of what is happening for you, is like you're realizing I am working so hard that I'm becoming ill because I'm not living, I'm just existing, and I feel like, it's sucking the life out of my soul. And this is like refreshing in where you're headed there. And like we talked about the light and the dark fish, this is your shadow side. And we have this dark deck here, this dark tarot. This is just going to be what the message is that your shadow wants to give you as well, because it brings you stuff from your unconscious and the subconscious world. It brings you knowledge and wisdom that can help you on your path. So I kind of feel like we're going to fill in the blanks here. So let's see what we have here. So you've got these two. I feel like this one's for here. And this one's for here. And then what else? Okay. Yep, there's two. So we'll put that one here. This one will slide right under here. We'll just move them over a little bit, and then we'll just take a look here and see what else your shadow wants you to know about this. So I feel like we want to start this way and work our way backwards. Yeah, so you have the Ace of Swords here. And the Ace of Swords is perfect for this Five of Swords because the Ace of Swords does two things. One, it allows you to connect to the capital T truths of the higher realm. So, that you are unconditionally loved. It allows you to see what it is you're truly passionate about. And it is messages coming in for you during this time as well. The other thing the Ace of Swords does is it allows you to cut away these small T truths that no longer serve you. So you definitely have during this period this questioning that you're having. It did serve you for a purpose like we talked about, but now you have the power to slice and move those away. And you have the Five of Wands. So you had the Five of Swords, which the Five of Swords was about, that change of mentality, that change of your small T truths, and that you don't have to prove it to others. Well, the Five, you have more change. This is about the energy, though, because Wands is our passion, our drive, our ambition, our aha inspiration, right? And so this Five of Wands is this transformation from feeling like there's conflict. And I always talk about, there's a little kung fu movie that starts to play in my head with the Five of Wands. It's like there's people that have five, they each have a staff and they are battling each other, and it gets down to where there's one person standing, the other four exhausted, laying on the ground, defeated, and they all start laughing, they help each other up, they put away their staves, they walk arm in arm down to the meal hall and at the Buddhist monastery. And then I'm like, suddenly it transforms to like there's this battle where these people were fighting to, these are Buddhist monks that were not trying to hurt one another, but they were helping each other improve their skills. And so this energy changes from one of conflict and that the suppressive, scary energy into a brotherhood, a sisterhood type energy where it was working together for you. And I kind of feel like this energy that you're getting here reminds me of the eagle nest, where an eagle's parents, they build, those huge nests out of all these twigs and stuff, and it's really sharp and rough, but inside they line it with all this, fur and plants and cloth or whatever to make it really comfy for the eggs, and once the eggs hatch, for the little eaglets. But when it's time for the little eaglets to fly, they will start ripping out the comfortable things to make it uncomfortable so uncomfortable that they'd rather fly than stay where they were before. So I kind of feel like this Pisces season it's been bubbling within you that you are getting to that point where it feels so uncomfortable staying where you are that you are ready to take that risk. You're ready to take the risk. Then what else do we have here? Yep, you got the moon card. So this is about connecting. So you've got the sun and the moon. The moon is about diving into the unconscious, the subconscious, connecting to the higher realms, trusting your intuition, connecting to that place. So you definitely are ready for this change that's happening. And for you, I really feel like during this Pisces seasons, pay attention to the new moon and the full moons that happen during this Pisces time, because I feel like that energy will have messages. And I'll mention this in the end, I do put out readings for a new moon and full moon readings for each zodiac sign. So I would check those out throughout the Pisces as they come out during that season. And then lastly, you have the King of Spheres. You have the King of Pentacles. So where the Empress kind of reminds me of the Queen of Pentacles, because this is about abundance, external abundance, this wholeness, this completeness, that you will have everything you need. So, I really feel you got the Empress, which is about fruitfulness and bounty with the rabbits and the birth. You have the Sun, which is victory. You have the King of Spheres, the King of Pentacles. It's like you will feel this abundant feeling. And I need to put like this little gap in between, because this is where you are and this is where you are headed if you want to take advantage of that, if you want to really embrace this beautiful energy of Neptune and live your dream. It's like that's what it pretty much comes down to. What are you waiting for to live your dream, to die? Because if you're not living your dream, you're just existing. So I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, I'm going to leave the reading there. And as I mentioned, I do the new moon and full moon readings each month. I also do weekly energy updates by each element, like fire signs, water signs. Do monthly readings for each zodiac sign too, and a variety of other readings. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click that like button, then also click on the subscribe button. That'll make the little notification bell pop up. And when you click on there, you can have your settings set to all, where you receive all notifications of all new videos that come out. That way you don't miss a thing. Also, in addition to the general readings, if you want more specific information, I also offer personal readings, and all that information is in the description box below. So if you have that desire and that need, just know that's where you can check that out. And of course, as you go throughout each and every second of every day of your life, please know that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing Pisces season. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. And until then, you take care. Happy birthday, all you Pisces Sun babies. This is your special bonus birthday reading. And what we're going to do is I'm going to first pull a Dreamer's deck card for each of the next 3 months. So from whatever your birthday is, so for the next 30 days, next 30 days, next 30 days. And this is just going to be what the Creator wants you to be aware of for this next 3 months of your beautiful life. So that'll be month number 1, it's month number 2. And what's the final one for month number 3, please? Okay. Actually, it looks like you get 2 for that final month. All right. And then we're also going to pull cards here from the Sun and Moon Tarot and get some clarification. All right, so month number 1. Okay, looks like it's these two. What about month number 2? Okay, and I feel like these, it looks like you get 4 and 4. And then what about this final 3rd month, please? Okay, got those, and looks like you get 5 for the final one there, for that little message. And then we'll talk about these in just a moment. So we'll start with month number 1. Beautiful sun, bright, sunny time. It says, I'm going where it feels right. I know that my deepest desires are the pathways toward my dreams. So you, of course, being Pisces, you're in tune with your intuition, and you're following your heart and your gut during this period of time. You know what you want in your life. You know what you want to do. So, yeah, and here you go. You have the Judgment card. So the Judgment card it's like double endings and double new beginnings. And this is an awareness that happens. You can see here, like there's individuals down here, and this angel is calling them and waking them up. And what this represents is this is your human self, your little shadow self, this character that you're playing on this earth. And this is your higher self, your spiritual self, your soul. That's the actor, this powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being who's made of unconditional love. That's the actor behind this character. And so you have this awakening, this kind of calling to pull you into a deeper, even more deeper spiritual place and awareness of your soul, of your higher self. And so I know that's such a Pisces thing too. So you're like, okay, but this is this calling. You're being called higher during this period of time here. Yeah, because you have the 6 of Swords here. Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations, all the mentalness that's going on. And this is about movement of your thoughts from old ways of thinking to new ways of thinking. And that goes right in with this Judgment card here, because as you are connecting to your higher place, you are seeing the difference between the thoughts of our human side and those, like which I call the small t truths of this life, and the capital T truths of the eternal world and where we're at. And it says science here, so it is like this, you're working this out of, it's almost like you're realizing that this life was this huge experiment, that you did come here on purpose to experience these small t truths of feeling limited, feeling small, feeling all those emotions and everything else. But in experiencing those things, you more fully understand who you really are, because you do see, the smallness of yourself, and then you reflect up as you connect to your higher self, and you see just the endlessness and the bounty of who you are. Yeah, because there's the 9 of Wands. And it says strength up here, but Wands is your drive, your ambition, your aha inspiration, your passion, also your spiritual energy. And the 9s is about that you find this within yourself. You don't find it outside. The 9s, like in the major arcana of the tarot, the 9 is like, it's known as the hermit. And the hermit goes on this internal journey of finding itself. And usually they're carrying a lantern with a little star in it, and that star is your higher self. And so this 9 is about finding this higher spiritual energy from within. So it definitely is in alignment with what's going on here. The sun is you. That's the star. That's you. You're seeing that bright light that you really are. Yeah, because here's power and strength. So 4 of Pentacles. Pentacles is about your outside world, but it is also this journey of your worth. And think of the 4s as this strong foundation with a table with these 4 big hunking legs on it. It makes it a very, very strong table. And so you have this stability in your worth that you find during this month, which makes total sense. Again, as you connect to this higher place, you understand who you really are. And so it's this joining together, right? You have this understanding that your human side, this character, is still a piece of you, but it's a very small piece of you compared to your soul, your spiritual being that you are. And so your little human is so hungry for unconditional love, it's so hungry for the spiritual, that the things of the world don't please it for very long. But when you have this joining together, of your spirit and your humanness, it changes your whole perspective of the world. I actually have a new series that I put out this year, which is called U times 2, and it is about this journey of understanding the two of us that are living this human experience. So I'll have it linked here at the end of the video somewhere, probably in the description box below too, but it'll be, if you want to check those out, that has a wonderful, wonderful information with all those. So these are the dark side tarot, or the dark tarot. I think it's just the dark tarot. And yeah, it's right here, the dark. And this represents, Pisces, you understand, you can swim in the bright side of the pond and feel that joy and feel that upbeatness and the star shiny, ness. But you also have the ability to dive deep into the unconscious, into the darker side of the pond, and that. And this represents the shadowy side of your experience. But our shadow also brings us such beautiful awareness and wisdom. And that's what this card is going to represent, is what your shadow side wants you to know about this month. What kind of unconscious things to be aware of, whatever they want you to know. So, what do you want for month number 1, please? Okay, it's going to be this one right here. Yeah. So you got the High Priestess. She is, she's the number 2, like the 2 times 2. I mean, the U times 2. And also the Judgment card with that connection to your higher self is 20. 2 plus 0 is 2. So it really is this, message about diving deep within your spiritual side. The High Priestess steps away from all the noise of the world. She goes into her temple. She connects to the moon energy, that higher energy, the higher places. And in doing that, she, connects to the capital T truths, to those higher truths of the unseen world. And so this definitely is this calling to seek higher. So definitely there is this conducive message here. And so your first month after your birthday, it is about taking time away. Doesn't mean you have to become a hermit, but it is definitely take time to get into your temple, away from all that noise, and intentionally connect to unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter. Those are the frequencies at which spirit lives and breathes and speaks. That's our true nature. And so in doing that, it helps you connect to your higher place, to your higher self. And then we go into month number 2. And that says, I am doing the work. I know that my future self will thank me for the hard work. So you are definitely taking steps here. With whatever information you're gleaning in here, you're putting things to action. You're taking steps towards, we'll see what you're taking steps towards, the moon. So, yeah. So you're definitely taking time to get to connect to the upper realms, exactly as I was talking about with this High Priestess. This is that moon energy. This is about going up there and sitting on the moon, connecting to the higher places. This is the unseen, the unknown, and diving deep into this place. So it definitely is this call to connect, to the upper realms, which you shouldn't be surprised. This is like what you love, your spirituality, you love that connection to the dreamy other world. Yeah. So as I talked about the Hermit, here you go. So it definitely is about making sure you're taking time away from everything. So you're continuing this inner journey here. These 2 months is, not being afraid to take time alone and spend time alone and really use it to connect to your creator, to spirit, whatever your beliefs are, with that. Guardian angels and spirit guides, your loved ones on the other side, your ancestors, unicorns, fairies, leprechauns, whatever it is you believe, those beings of unconditional love and light are on the other side. You are being called to spend as much time as you can with them during these 2 months. We'll see what happens in the 3rd month here. And then you have the Prince of Pentacles. This would be like the Knight of Pentacles. And this is like this, awareness. All the princes or the knights are about movement. And out of all the four that are in the tarot, the Pentacles ones is the slowest moving, because the other Knight is about, the Knight of Swords is about your mentalness, the Knight of Cups is about your emotions, the Knight of Wands is about your passion and your drive. All those things happen inside you, which you have all this beautiful journey, this internal journey that you're on. But this is just letting you know that although all this stuff is happening on the inside of you, you may not see it floating out to the outside world as fast. And it's okay. Be patient with that. Just be aware that things in the outside world take time. We don't change from the outside in. We change from the inside out. So as you start to change on the inside, then you'll start to see the outside world change. It's going to just take time for it to catch up. So just know it's a promise that all of this journey is worth it, and you'll begin to see the world in a completely different way. Yeah. Because here's the Wheel of Fortune. This is the change. 10 is endings and new beginnings. So the Wheel of Fortune, too, has this beautiful story behind it, and it is that before we came down here, your higher self chose the character that you're playing here on this planet. It said, this is who I want to be born to, what parents, what situations, what I'm going to look like, what my strengths are, what my opportunities are, blah, 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 blah. Decided when it was going to come down and when it was going to leave this life too. And all these fated events that it wanted to experience while you were down here. And so everything that happens in your life is not happening by accident. Your life is not happening to you. It is happening for you. You're not on this out of control drama train that's about to jump the tracks and explode in this gorge dramatically, right? You're more of like on this monorail train in Disneyland or Disney World, where that train is attached to the track. It can't fly off. It's smooth running. It stops at all it stops on purpose for a purpose. And so this allows you to move from this place of feeling like you're a victim to life and that it's happening to you, to where you're a victor in life and that it's happening for you. So there's a beautiful transformation that happens as your inner world is changing. And I mean, you've got 3 major arcana, which means you have this huge life change that's happening for you because of all this that you're gleaning, and with all this connection to the higher realms, you just are realizing these huge truths of your life that are unfolding like this, that life happens for you and not to you. So I really love that. Then, of course, they want me to shuffle once. Okay, and what do you want to tell us about the second month, please? Okay. And you've got the Empress. Yep, so the Empress is about new birth. It's about freedom. It's about Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, creativity, abundance, this feeling of not being restricted. So you have number 2, the High Priestess, number 3, the Empress. So a lot of divine feminine energy. So yeah, this is definitely, you're having this new birth happen. Allow this new birth to happen in this month. And then after all these 2 months of really connecting to the upper realms and really taking time for you in this self-nurturing, we move into your 3rd month. And you have, I am true to myself, your true self. And it says, I know that pure joy is the result of being in alignment with my soul. Can't make that up. And then you also have, you're going on an adventure. Beautiful. And it says, I know that passion is ignited when I create experiences that excite me. Yeah, definitely this connection to your soul is allowing you to really connect to the passion of who you are and what you really want in life. And so, yeah, this internal search and this connection to your soul, like it talks about, it just brings so much truth, so much awareness that you start seeing life as this new adventure, this new exciting thing, instead of maybe before you kind of felt like, you were just existing, you weren't living, and this allows you to really live this adventure of life here. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, you got the Lovers. And this is all about living your passions. It really is. Because the cards before this are like the Emperor and the Hierophant, which are all about, there's a loving side to it, but it also has this dictator feel to them, where it's all these rules and all these, where the Empress is the nature and freedom and no restriction. This would be like, when you get in society, you have rules. When you get into an organized belief system, there's rules, and so it's more restrictive. And what the Lovers brings is this message of, when we're young, we have all these rules that we have to obey because we'd rather be praised than punished usually. And so we're trying our best to obey all these rules. But when we hit teenager years, usually that's when we first fall in love, or we have a crush, or we have like a strong desire for something, like to go see a movie or a concert or something. And we're told no, but our passion, our desire for this thing outweighs our fear of losing praise or getting punishment. And it's the first time we want to act on our passion. And that's what this is about too. It's this emotional choice that you're making, that you're ready to live your passion and you're letting your fears subside because your fears are being outweighed by that passion. Yeah. The King of Cups. Cups are your emotions. The King is the highest emotion you can experience, which would be the unconditional love of the other side. It is this culmination, this beautiful balance too between this water energy of the cups, and all the kings have air energy. And so there is this, it's like this balance between dreaming and your mind too. I love how he has the Ace of Cups in his hand here, and that's what he's offering you. And here's that big moon back here too, with all this moon energy we've been talking about. And what's in that Ace of Cups? That Ace of Cups is the Holy Grail. It's the chalice. It's the unconditional love of the creator of all things that's in there. That is what you're being offered, and that's what this king is able to bring you because they master their emotions. Like the King of Cups would be like all the water signs, and so this is basically represents you. You're able to hold that chalice in your hands. It is there for you. So I love that. Yeah. And then you have the Universe, card number 21. This is like the highest card in the major arcana. This is major endings of cycles, major beginning of a new cycle, a new adventure coming in. So you definitely are ready to make this choice. This is a life-changing experience you're having over these next 3 months. Yeah, because then I had the King of Pentacles. So all this king energy, it's like the ending, you're reaching the endings of things so that you can have these new beginnings, because the King of Pentacles is about abundance. They are the highest of the Pentacle suit, and so you have this abundance that comes in. But it's this awareness too, because the kings get to experience the entire suit, where the King of Cups experienced all the emotions and found that all the other emotions of this world, the conditional emotions, the conditional love, left him feeling empty. He understood that the Ace of Cups, that unconditional love of the creator, is what we are truly thirsting for, right? Well, the King of Pentacles does the same thing. He's been through all those external experiences. Pentacles are like coins, and so he's been through all these experiences about his abundance. He too was told, look out here for your definition. Look at relationships. Look at situations like jobs and education and other types of situations. Look at your body. Look at your possessions. Look at your bank accounts. Those things define you, but they were unstable. And he realized that because people change or pass away. Situations never stay the same. And things, our bodies break down, deteriorate, or are stolen. Not our bodies, but our possessions are stolen. Hopefully nobody snatches your body. But, he learned that those things are unstable, and that he found the stable thing within him, which was this unconditional love that is stable, it's eternal, it's unconditional, no conditions, nothing we can do to gain it, nothing we can do to lose it, unlike the outside world, which is conditional, right? And so you have this beautiful awareness and this completion of all this beautiful connection that you have, and these truths that you're coming upon here. Yep, and here's temperance. And so you can see temperance, here's the yin yang or yin yang, depending on how you say it, and it has sorry for the shadow there, it has 1 cup of the heavens and 1 cup of the lower self. And temperance is all about balance, and this balancing of understanding that there are 2 of you. So this message hit here, reinforced here, and you're still, that's like the culmination here. It's this beautiful balance, you're understanding the 2 sides of you, the yin and the yang, has the dark, within the light, and the light within the dark, and it's this bond, it's this ring right here. You have both of them within each other, and you have this beautiful journey that you have with this connection, exactly as it says, I know that pure joy is the result of being in alignment with my soul. And this is that alignment, this is that balance with your soul. And then we'll shuffle one more time here. And what's your final message for month number 3? Okay, actually, I want this one right here. Yep, and you've got the Chariot. And this is a wonderful card to end with, because the Chariot represents this awareness of that you, regardless, like it's this Wheel of Fortune, regardless of whatever situation comes into your life, you have the power, you have your free will and choice to decide what story you will apply to any situation. You get to decide what emotion you want to feel in any situation. It's like the Pentacles and the Cups. No matter what comes your way from the outside world, everyone's going to have their opinion on what it's supposed to mean, what it should, what it needs to, what it has to mean, but you get to decide what it means. You don't have to share it with anyone else. People can say, oh, you're supposed to be so upset about that. And you're like, okay, thank you. Well, are you going to feel that way? That's none of their business, right? You on your inside, you can be like, no, I feel ultimate joy about what's happening in my life. And I don't have to have it mean what they want it to mean, right? I don't have to feel the way everyone thinks that I should feel about it. And so there's this beautiful control, this beautiful power that comes in, knowing that you are the one that gets to decide that, no one else. And I love that you had all major arcanas here, and so many. So this is definitely this life-changing moment for you in your life, and what a beautiful birthday gift that comes with this, right? I mean, 3 months of just amazing connection to the spiritual world, to higher knowledge, higher wisdom, higher truths, higher joy, happiness, and unconditional love. And you definitely deserve it. So have a very, very happy birthday with all this. I did want to let you know that in addition to these readings, I also do monthly readings for each zodiac sign, weekly energy updates for each of the elements, like water signs, fire signs, etc., new moon, full moon readings. And especially with getting all this moon energy, I would really pay attention to the different moon phases during your Pisces season in each of these 3 months, because being a water sign too, you are like impacted with the tides of beautiful energy that comes and goes, and you're so connected to the moon that out of all signs, water signs definitely feel that flood of beautiful energy that comes. So I would pay attention to those. But if you want to be notified when any of those new readings come out, so you don't miss them, if you like this video by clicking that little thumbs up, also click on the subscribe button. That brings up this notification bell, and then you can select the all option, which will let you know when any new videos come out on this channel. Also, if you want to get any more detailed, I mean, these are general readings, but if you want even more detailed information, I do offer personal readings, and that information will be in the description box below. No pressure, but I just want to make sure you're aware that that is an option for you if you have that need or that want or that desire. But just know that as you go throughout each and every second of every day of your life, that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing birthday. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. And until then, you take care.